Lindsay Whitaker here, aka the Prosperity Coach, and today I would like to talk to you about plugging the leaks. So, what exactly do I mean by that? Well, it's nothing too awful, I can assure you. But what plugging the leaks are all about in terms of your financial circumstances are finding those little spends that are actually eating away at your future prosperity. So, the sort of things that I'm talking about could be your Starbucks latte every day, or the coffee that you go and get every day is a bit of a treat, or for the start of your working day that you sort of do, say 5 days a week. Um, it could be that you tend to treat yourself on a rather regular basis. It could be something in particular that maybe you don't necessarily need to do or spend on. So today's vlog is very much about really thinking about what's happening with you financially and where those leaks may be hiding out in your sort of financial world, because we can all tend to have them, and because they're so small and because it's not a large monetary value that's going out on these items, that is actually the way that they hide out, because we just don't recognize it. The big splurges, the big spends, well, yeah, we can all feel those. We know they're there, when the credit card comes in or we hand over the physical cash, we know we've spent that money. But with small items like a couple of pounds spent on, a coffee, or even a lunch. I've got lots of friends at work, sort of in the centre of Manchester and things like that. And honestly, the amount that they can spend just on the lunch is quite astronomical, really. So just take a look. Start with maybe your working week. Take a look and sort of really analyse what's happening for you in that particular week, and you will see or find these little reoccurring spends that sort of mount up. Then what I'd like you to do is sort of take the number of weeks, sort of minus your holidays. If you're self-employed and you've got your own business, then sort of judge how many weeks per year you take off, and sort of Christmas and things like that. And then sort of multiply, see in that week space, see how many times you've splurged on that item. So we'll use the coffee, that's a great sort of easy one to do. So see how many times you've bought that coffee. Is it 5 days a week? Is it 4 days a week? Get that monetary value over those days, over that weekly period, and then multiply it by the amount of weeks that you would ordinarily make that spend. And it may be that you're really quite surprised at just how much those small, sort of what seem quite insignificant spends actually add up to over a 12-month period. So I used to be the coffee shop person. I used to love, in the morning, I would drop my daughter off at school and I would happily go. It was a bit of a social thing. I could go and take some of my work and work from there, go to my local coffee shop, have a bit of a chat with everybody, have my coffee, and it was a lovely experience. But actually, it got to the point where one coffee went to two coffees. I was spending longer in there. And I was spending a small fortune, really, over the month on that. So I started where I got myself a really lovely coffee mug, one that I could take out with me. And we are fortunate enough to have a coffee machine here, so I can make my own coffee. But you don't need that at all. Um, what I'm trying to say to you is find other ways of still having the treat and still feeling that you're treating yourself, but without the splurge that could be eating away into your future prosperity and your finances. Because then what you can do is choose to direct the money that you ordinarily would have spent on that item, still feeling good because you've still sort of replaced it with something that's, maybe costing much less or costing nothing at all. And you can then redirect that money that you would have spent on that item, maybe into an investment pot or to do something fun, or however you choose. That is your decision to make, really. But it's really, really key that you start to notice just where you can plug these leaks in your finances. It may even be that the leak is actually maybe a monthly direct debit of something that you've just forgotten to cancel, something that you no longer need in your life. Um, and that, is just sat there and you didn't even realise that it was sat there. So please take a good look at your finances, see where the leaks are and plug them, and then comment below, let me know how you've got on, the difference that it's made, and even maybe some inspiration for other people that see this blog on, how you've replaced what was the leak and how you've maybe replaced that with something else that's more fulfilling in your life. I'd love to hear that from you. And if you haven't already, please come over to my closed private Facebook group, the Prosperity Club, where we've got some fantastic conversations going on about money. Everybody's opening up and being able to discuss things quite honestly and openly with other members of the group. So if you feel called to, I would love to see you over in the group. So that's the vlog done for today. Go now, go and plug those leaks, find them, hunt them down, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.